Thank you, Speaker. And Speaker, I raise a matter for the Premier, and the action I seek is a change to the restriction status of the Cardinia Shire area that includes Narnagoon and to the east, south and north of Narnagoon. Speaker, the area I'm referring to is a rural farming area supported by 4 major towns that have a combined population of around 6,000. If you drive 1 kilometre from the centre of each town, you're more likely to see 400 cows than 400 people. I wrote to Brett Sutton on the 1st of September and again on the 8th of September. I wrote to the Premier on the same dates. I have received a response from Brett Sutton to both letters, but I've had nothing from the Premier. I can understand that it is difficult to manipulate the local government boundaries, but with the impact these restrictions are having on the people in these areas, I believe we have to look at options. Every day we are receiving heartfelt pleas from families and individuals living in rural areas really struggling with the Stage 2 metro restrictions. I cannot stand by and ignore the difficulties these residents are facing, I've been accused of being divisive and offering false hope. But I'm compelled to stand up for these families and at least try and offer the Premier and the Chief Health Officer an alternative solution for these towns. We have to find a way to live with COVID, and can I suggest restrictions being imposed by postcode. We have the police checkpoints in place and they can continue to manage the movement of people. This could be applied across regional Victoria quite easily, especially given the very low numbers of infection. And this is the real crux of the problem here. We cannot continue to punish people in towns that have had no infection for more than 45 days, or in many cases, no infection for the duration of this pandemic. We cannot continue to impose the threat of bankruptcy on businesses in areas that have continued to do the right thing for the sake of their community. We cannot continue to punish people of faith whose mental strength is maintained by group prayer. We have to have a plan to live with coronavirus. The impact on Metro Melbourne has been devastating, and I acknowledge that. But we cannot keep communities and businesses that have had no infections in lockdown for 1 minute longer than is absolutely necessary. Because for every unnecessary minute of lockdown, a country business could close forever. It could bring the economy of a country town to breaking point. And worse still, the mental well-being of so many good people could be damaged permanently. So I plead with the Premier to apply restrictions by postcode and consider lifting restrictions in areas that have had no infection for 14 days or more.